Welcome back to Logan, Utah, as we get ready for the start of the third quarter. After a lightning delay here in Logan, Utah, we're finally ready for football as we revisit the first half stats. The rushing game, big for the Aggies, but most of that came from the quarterback, Kent Myers.
Yeah, 124 yards on 7 carries and 2 of that on 2 big runs. And otherwise, it's very evenly matched. Penalties a little bit more going to Utah State, and even the passing yards. Right now, we've seen the game plan and the bye week is benefiting Utah State, at least in the first half of this game. Colorado State, we'll see what happens.
Well, Kent Myers with a touchdown pass to Sharp of 42 yards, a 26-yard touchdown run as they rallied from a 10-3 deficit. For Mike Bobo, what adjustments does he need to make here in the second half?
Well, I think 2 things. One, they have to stretch the field. They need to throw to the all-star, All-American player Higgins, get him more downfield. And I think, 2, they have to continue to commit to the run. The run game, to me, is a drip, drip, drip process. You keep hitting it, you keep hitting it, you keep hitting it. Eventually, you're going to get a big one to break. And so you got to stick with that, and then defensively, they got to keep doing what they've been doing.
Myers has to be very pleased. No rust in his arm or his play-calling ability, and then what he did with his feet. His first start, replacing the injured Chucky Keaton. His 7th career start, and has them in front 17-10 as we get ready for the start of the second half. Deontay Gaines awaiting the kick, standing in his end zone 3 yards deep. Jake Thompson with the boot, and we're underway here in the third quarter. Gaines will watch that fly over his head, a touchback out to the 25-yard line. So Colorado State had some moments there. Their drive for a field goal was effective as they had a 9-play drive, and then the touchdown pass to Higgins, but quiet after that point.
Sure has, and you got to give it to Utah State's defense, and Coach Bobo talked about it. The way they move around with the 3-4-4-3, and especially with Feckrell. Feckrell's been very disruptive as well as the whole front defensive line.
They open up with a bunch set to the top of the screen. 3 receivers for Stevens, a sophomore. He'll go to work over the middle and almost intercepted. Marwin Evans was in the area. That was intended for Joe Hansley, and you wonder if a wet ball was a factor there.
Well, not only wet ball, taking that long on halftime, but you can see that ball just completely sailed on him. When you have long delays like this, it takes a lot as a player to get yourself back into it. You can warm up, but practice and game is 2 different things.
It should be a dry ball coming out of halftime, but it was raining pretty steadily there. It is let up now as we open up this third quarter. 2nd and 10 for Stevens. Has time now. Backside, he's hitting the ball, comes free, and it's scooped up by Utah State's Fackrell's got it, and he's down to the 6-yard line. The sack, the fumble, Fackrell, the fumble recovery, and the Aggies in great shape as they open up the second half. Moala hit him.
Moala gets in, they've been beating the left and right guards all game long. Moala gets in there, causes the strip. Watch again, watch a nice swim move on the center. Center has no chance, comes in, swipes at that ball. Look at Fackrell, just scoops that thing up. This kid is NFL ready made with the way he plays the game. Great start for this third quarter for Utah State. Not so good of a start for Colorado State.
5th-year senior Fackrell already has a couple sacks, now a fumble recovery, and a quarterback switch to open up. Kent Myers is split out. They're going to put Damian Hobbs in at the quarterback spot here inside the 10-yard line as they start the series. Hobbs going to keep it off the right side, puts his head down, and leans forward to the 5-yard line. Now Hobbs is 220 pounds, and he can move the pile a little bit. 2nd and goal.
And I like that because you have 2 playmakers. Kent Myers, when you run scout team, that means you do a little bit of everything, and that allows your coaches to be creative, and that's exactly what they did in that type of situation. I like what they're doing right now. They're switching it up, making this defense have to think about something else.
He'll stay on his quarterback. Hunt is in the backfield with him. The Oregon transfer at the helm at quarterback. And it's a handoff to Hunt straight ahead. That does not fool the Rams. They shut it down at the point of attack. A loss back to the 6-yard line. Trey Thomas, the strong side linebacker, the redshirt freshman, was there.
And that's a good fill for him. He's 6'1", 215, a little light for a linebacker, but he knows how to fill the hole, wrap up, force the rest of the guys to come in and break that tackle.
So 3rd down and goal from the 6 for Utah State. Play fake. Myers looking to throw it. Throws the last moment. It's deflected and incomplete. It's 4th down. So they went to Hobbs for a couple plays. They bring Myers back in, and they're going to have to settle for a field goal.
Now that makes it a little tough when you start the first 2 out, and then you come in, you have to throw the ball right off the bat. But to still have that type of turnover, to get 3 points, and that's a win for the Colorado State defense. To turn the ball over at this point and not give up 7, that allows you to still stay in this game.
Out of the hold of DJ Nelson, Brock Warren 2 for 2 on field goals. His long is 30. This is a chip shot from the right hash, 23-yarder. And Warren knocks it through there. So a turnover, costly for the Rams, and Utah State extends their lead to 20-10. A Warren field goal makes it a 10-point game.
Yeah, and you got it right there showing Coach Wells. I'm sure he's excited about how his guys came up. They're 5-0 coming off bye weeks right now, and we can see why. That he really gets his guys prepared and ready. You see this energy. He understands how important this is. These guys understand how important this is. They really want to get this game, especially at home with the home record they have. I'm curious of what he's trying to discuss about. I think he's saying maybe the quarterback should have got a roughing the passer because he was outside of the pocket. But that's just me speculating. But as he's talking, that's what it looks like, because at the very tail end of that, you can tell that Evans got hit. He got hit at the end of that play. Myers, I should say. I'm sorry.
Coach Wells saying there's never been a better time to be an Aggie. Their motto, 1 degree more, just a little bit better, as they won 10 games a year ago. Here's that play at the end.
Oh, that's hard to see. That's really hard to see. Didn't really look like it.
So a field goal from Warren as they'll kick it away and over the head of Gaines, and a touchback for the Rams, and they'll start again at the 25-yard line. Colorado State now in a bit of a funk after scoring 10 points to take the lead. Now a turnover to open up the 3rd quarter. How do they respond?
Well, I think they need to go back to some of their basics. Tempo. Tempo is their key and their friend. They need to go no huddle. Maybe you go back to some of the scripted plays that you were going to do in the first drive of the game to allow your offense to find some continuity and get the ball moving.
So the Moala strip, the Fackrell fumble recovery, 3 points. And now the Rams' second series. They'll pitch it to Dawkins running right, and he's shut down. Filiunga was there after a short gain. Dawkins is 5'9", 175. He runs hard, but no match for Filiunga.
Yeah, you're talking about 5'11", 245. Big outside linebacker that can move. And as a defense, when you can make a running back go east and west and not north and south, that negates all speed. The slowest guy can catch it.
1 yard pickup. Single back look. Fackrell showing blitz. He's coming, and he's got Dawkins in his sights, and he wraps him up. A loss back to the 24. Fackrell is putting on a show tonight.
You know, Utah State, they've had some great linebackers come through these past couple of years, Bobby Wagner being one. But you're looking at a player, Fackrell, that understands the game, good length, 6'5", 250 pounds, and great speed. He can rush you, he can drop back, and that's what I call football IQ. Reading the play, scraping down the line, making a tackle, not giving up a cutback.
3rd and 11. Again, the Aggies showing blitz. Stevens, and it's almost intercepted. It was intended for Hansley, but Hines had his sights on that one, and he almost timed it perfectly. Punt team out there now.
When you throw to the wide side of the field as a quarterback, you have to make sure, as the quarterback Nick Stevens, you do not throw that ball high, and that's exactly what he did. That gives Hines an opportunity to have a great break on the ball, and he became more the receiver, and the receiver became more the DB.
It's the 2nd, 3rd, and out. The Aggies defense is forced as Hunter Sharp awaits the punt. Hayden Hunt had a 14-yarder that bounced the wrong way in the first half. He's standing at his 10-yard line. Gets the kick away, a low wobbler. Sharp at the 39. Trying to get to the boundary, and they swarm to the ball, and he's dropped at the 40-yard line. Matthews there on the stop for Colorado State. 12:06 to go, 3rd quarter. Utah State trying to add to their advantage here. Homecoming in Logan. Mountain West Conference opener for the Rams and the Aggies, and Utah State with a 20-10 lead, getting a field goal after a turnover to open up the third quarter. And now the Aggies excellent field position after forcing a punt. They've got it at the 40-yard line. The rain has not kept the fans away. Great crowd here on homecoming, a whiteout, and they have liked what they've seen so far from Kent Myers, the sophomore. In motion, Sharp looping behind the backfield. Myers is going to keep it. Looks like he lost his footing there, and he goes down near the line of scrimmage as Kevin Davis, the weak side linebacker, was there.
That's what we will see a little bit more in the second half because of the rain and everything else. Footing will play a factor in it.
Myers, a great arm. Confidence is the thing that really stands out with him when you talk to the coaches. And they have not changed a thing after the injury to Chucky Keaton with how they're running things. And they may be getting a little bit more from a healthy quarterback. Here's Hunt to the outside. Breaks one tackle and then leans forward across the 43. 3rd and 7 coming up here. And a passing down for the Aggies.
Good vision by Hunt to bounce that out. We talked about the strength of these teams and the defenses and how tough they play. I mean, that's a tribute to the rush yards where the quarterback is the leading rusher. I think offensively, though, as this game progresses, we'll see if Utah State can kind of get that going.
Devontae Robinson in motion to the top of the screen on 3rd down. They're rushing 4. Myers in some trouble. Evades it. He's going to run, and he's got a 1st down. And he's into Rams territory and out of bounds at the 42. That's the other thing. When everything breaks down, you know you've got a guy that can make big plays, and he moves the chains.
Kent Myers has great vision. He sees nobody's there. He's moving. Hides the ball well. That ball could have been stripped, tucks it, and when he makes a decision to run, there is no hesitation, and that's what you want to see out of your quarterback. Make a solid decision and stick with it.
15-yard pickup for Myers. 1st down at the Rams' 42-yard line. They've gone split backs. They go single back this time. Myers keeping it after the fake to Hunt, and that did not fool Joe Kowalik. Kowalik, a returning starter, 5th-year senior. And he's the 4th of 4 brothers to play Division I football in that family.
That's something. That's interesting Thanksgiving talk. I guarantee you.
At the table, at the turkey table, right? Which is coming up quickly, by the way.
But you're looking at the stats on Kent Myers. As a defensive coordinator, Tyson Summers for Colorado State, this is where it gets frustrating. You do everything you're supposed to do, but it's hard to contain a running quarterback unless you set a spy.
On 2nd and 10, handoff to Hunt. Nothing doing left side. They have not done well running the football from a running back standpoint. Kevin Davis was at the forefront. Kevin Pierre-Louis, the free safety also.
Both these teams' defenses have done a great job of shutting down the running back game. If Nick Stevens was more of a running quarterback, we might see a little something different right now. But I think for both of these teams, in order to win, it's going to have to be through the air because running is not getting it done, and that's why Utah State has the lead. The way they pass the ball with the breakthrough quarterback runs, Colorado State's going to have to throw that ball a whole lot.
On 3rd and long, here's Myers trying to make it happen again, and he's close to a 1st down. The best offense has been Myers. He just takes off with the football, and it is close to the 1st down marker.
You just can't account for a quarterback that likes to run. You can see in this situation, that was a designed run for the quarterback. Pull the guard and tackle, get the running back pulling the linebackers opposite direction. It leads to that big run, and I think this is a good call. 4th and short. You don't want to try to kick it sometimes in this kind of weather this far out.
Well, the spot, it appeared he had crossed where the stick was placed. He needed to make the 32, and they've got him marked in between the 32 and the 33-yard lines. Here's the look.
Watch, the running back comes. When the running back comes in motion, it pulls the linebackers to the left. That allows him to get to the outside with the pulling guard and tackle. And you can see as he goes down, it depends on where they mark him getting hit. So contact is there. Now, at what point does he touch the ground? Hand touches the ground. It looks just a little bit before the 32-yard line.
That's where the ball is, and from that angle, he looks closer than where they marked it, just across the 33.
Right, so let's watch this again. Because he's in the air, and it's the point of when he comes down. So there's the contact down at that point. So the point is, where's the ball when he comes down at that point?
So right now, 4th down and less than a yard for Utah State. And the thinking here is, regardless, they're not going to bring the field goal team out. But another look.
You can see right there. There's the hit. Hand comes down. That's a tough one.
Here we go.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. 4th down.
So 4th down and about half a yard for Matt Wells and the Aggies.
Yeah, and like I said, I think it's a good call to go for it. Although the running game by the running backs hasn't been too effective today, they have been able to get short yards. They have been able to 2, 3, 4 yards.
Well, you saw the rushing numbers from Myers, a school record at the quarterback position for Utah State. Here they go, quickly up to the line, 4th down, less than a yard. Stack set behind. Moala's the fullback. They'll hand it off to Hunt. He's got the 1st down across the 30 and down to the 28-yard line. How about that bunch set as they loaded the backfield and they put Moala, a 300-pounder, in front of Hunt.
Well, and Hunt's vision, because everybody expected that to go right down the middle. That's where the bunch up was. But he had great vision to see that there was a little space on the outside, hit it quickly, converted the first.
There's the 1st down numbers. That's 7 straight rushes now from the Utah State offense. Fresh set of downs at the 28-yard line. Play action, they're going to throw it here. Myers completes it. Catch is made for a 1st down by Lawan Hunt. And he's inside the 18. Trent Matthews on the tackle.
I like the play call. You're going to see it's a fake to him. This is just a simple boot. Get it out to your playmaker. He does the rest. This is what you want out of your running backs in the second half. You want them to become your workhorses. You want them to eat up clock and yardage. And that right now, we're seeing that start to happen for Utah State.
Matthews with 10 tackles. He's been all over the field defensively for the Rams, but the Aggies are on the march. 2 backs, Hunt and Mays in the backfield. They'll hand it off to Mays, and he's cut down. A loss as the Rams had Corey James in the backfield there. Here's a look.
Yeah, you can see he gets tackled right there, up high, and coming underneath was DeAndre Elliott. And when you have a big back like that, that's what you're going to have to do, because in these kind of conditions, it's easy for him to bounce off and keep moving.
2nd and 11. Coach Wells understands the importance of a touchdown here. A field goal, it's still a 2-possession game midway through the 3rd quarter.
Yep.
Hunt hit in the backfield and dropped. Martavius Foster. Now, they've had some good moments defensively, and Foster has been quiet. He has the 1 sack, first-year starter out of Starkville, Mississippi.
He totally read the play. You can see both guard and tackle pulled. He just followed the pull, came in right behind. That was definitely a busted assignment. Great play by Martavius Foster.
2 of 7 on 3rd downs. This is 3rd and a bunch. 15 to be exact. Myers fires it up for the corner and too far out in front of the intended receiver. Here comes the penalty flag. It's resting near the 8-yard line. That was intended for Devontae Robinson.
They're happy to get him back. Speed guy. You can see right there, DeAndre Elliott.
Pass interference. Defense, number 13. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic 1st down.
Got to make sure when you're covering a receiver, got to keep your hands. You can see right there, he gets beat, ball's in the air. That's what's tough as a DB. You got to hit him within the first 5 yards. You got to know when to let go. You were in good position, drop your hand, and that's all he needed to do. Tough play. Seems like Colorado State right now is getting the penalties that are hurting them on drives.
1st and 10 from the 12, and again a negative yardage play from the running backs. Davis is in there, Love and Good as well. And they've not gotten anything between the tackles against Colorado State.
Colorado State today's problem has been outside of the long pass in the first half is containing a quarterback. That's where it's got them. Everything else they've done well except for that. They got this defense going to have to bring some more pressure and blitz, I think, to get off the field.
2nd and 14 now. Play fake. Myers rolling, looking to run, in trouble, and down he goes at the 23-yard line. They're heading backwards, and that was Matthews, or that was Kyle Robinson that time that made a nice play.
Yep, they dialed up the pressure, brought more than they can block, took all the running lanes away, and then Kyle Robinson does the rest, wrapping up Kent Myers.
His dad, David, played football at USC. His grandpa, Ray Charles, the 25-time Grammy winner. 3rd and 22. They want to at least stay in the field goal range here. They can get a first down at the 2-yard line. Myers, corner pattern. He wants Sharp. He goes up, and he's out of bounds. Great effort from number 4. Couldn't get his feet down or a foot down, and it's 4th down.
That is a play Hunter Sharp would love to have back just to try to tap his feet. You can see right there, Kevin Pierre-Louis, as a defensive back, you're in the wrong position. Luckily, it was at the back of the end zone, but you have to be in a position as a safety to come up and jump up for that ball. You're in a bad position, and being in so, an athletic receiver almost made a touchdown catch over you.
Here's Brock Warren for a 40-yard attempt. He's already connected from 23 at the start of the second half. This one much more challenging out of the hold of Nelson from the right hash mark.
See if he fixed that hook he had in the first half when he got the mulligan.
Kick on the way from Warren. Does it have enough leg? It does, and the kick is good. So Warren knocks through a couple field goals here in the 3rd quarter, and the Aggies extend their lead. Utah State in front of Colorado State, 23-10 on home turf. Welcome back to Logan. The Logan Temple lit up here in northern Utah. Homecoming for Utah State, and they lead 23-10 in the 3rd quarter after the second field goal off the foot of Brock Warren. Jake Thompson will kick it away. Deontay Gaines, the deep man for Colorado State. The winner will move to 1-0 in conference play. Both these teams have bowl aspirations, and a win here would put them in a pretty good spot to start off the conference season, as Gaines will take a knee, and they'll start this series at the 25-yard line. And we have a penalty flag coming in late. After the play, looks like a personal foul penalty.
Yeah, it looks like the Colorado State players, they had the Utah State player on the ground. There were some words. The Utah State player was walking away, and I saw a hand to the face. So, and the referee was right behind watching the whole thing.
After the play, personal foul, kicking team, number 45, correction, number 35, blow to the head, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
Yeah, there's no 35.
You can see at the bottom of your screen, they went on the blocks there at the bottom, and as it tells towards the end here, right there, you can see what happens.
Izzy Matthews at Colorado State. He was pointing the other way towards the kicking team. It was the receiving team. Izzy Matthews, the guilty party. Now going to work. Stevens on first down, and he throws an incomplete pass. He wanted Higgins, threw it behind him. Nick Vigil on coverage.
Nick Vigil just staying underneath the receiver, and Stevens had pressure, little bootleg action. That was going to be a tough throw if it was a completion anyway, but this offense has to show some urgency. I just haven't really seen much of that outside of the first quarter. You want to get back in this game, you got to start doing some things that are within your nature, and their nature is to go a lot faster than what they've been doing.
Pedestrian numbers for Stevens, who threw for 255 yards last week. 2nd and 10. Near sideline, there's Higgins. He's got it, and he has a first down out of bounds at the Aggies 49. Hines on the coverage. There's the recipe for success. Get it to 82.
And that's a beautiful route. He ran a speed out. They did a fake play action just to hold the linebackers there. Receiver just runs a nice speed out. You can see this guy runs great routes. There's a reason he was an All-American last year and preseason All-American this year.
First down on the Aggies side of the field now. Handoff straight ahead, and a nice move into the open field. First down carry for Jason Oden Jr. John Terrell Rockamore on the tackle.
You see his energy. That was the first great run by either running back. He let that thing develop and hit it quick, and I like the pace now. Go faster. This is what you need to do.
High formation. Here's Oden again off the right side this time, and he's cut down. A flag comes in late after a 2-yard pickup.
Coach Bobo's one concern was his offensive line because of injuries going against this front.
First down.
Zach Goldich, the left guard, and now Odin a little bit shaken up.
Well, they also thought that Zach wouldn't, he'd kind of been banged up. Both those guards had been banged up, and they thought that they wouldn't be able to get them in. So not being able to play at a full 100% makes it a little tougher going against this Utah State front.
He's made an incredible return. He's part of the Aurora theater shooting, got back into football, and has been battling an ankle injury this year. Guilty party on that play, though. 1st and 20, and here comes another penalty flag.
Now I'm curious. I want to see exactly what they do on this, because I saw the defender move, the defensive lineman move his leg real quick, but he didn't go into the neutral zone. So I'm curious of what they're going to do on this.
False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's Nick Callender, the left tackle.
Watch the nose guard. Watch what right there. See that quick movement? Just that created the false start. And so there's just that quick shift, but they didn't go into the neutral zone. And so in doing that, they set them back. So now we're looking at 1st and
25.
Wow.
You see the penalty numbers. It has not been a clean game. Stevens looking to throw it. Backside pressure. Fires it for the far sideline. And incomplete. Intended for Jordan Vaden over there, the speedster. And he couldn't locate him.
No, and that's a situation that's tough. The only 25-yard play I know is a bomb or a pass interference. And neither one of those are always a guarantee. As a defender, I'm waiting if you're going to try something like that. So you don't take the big chunk. At that situation, you do a screen, you do a draw, you do something knowing the defense is playing so far back because there's so much yards you have to gain.
Ideally, you'd at least like to get Higgins the ball in space. You see him lined up bottom of the screen here, short side of the field. 2nd and 25. Stevens, pressure coming, over the middle. It's caught, it's Hansley, and Hansley gets a big chunk of the yardage back down to the 38-yard line. A 3-year starter, savvy, and he makes a miss, and he's deceptively fast. He runs a 4.5 40.
And they're working the middle of the field. I think that was a good play. I would have liked to see a little bit faster tempo. You got that. You know this is 4-down territory at this point in the game. I would have liked them to get back up to the line and see if they can snap the ball again. But you're right. He knows how to work the middle of the field. They just haven't been able to get the ball to him much this game.
16-yard gain sets up a 3rd and 9. Late stages, 3rd quarter. Rams trying to battle back. Stevens. Higgins, he's got it. The first down grab at the 21-yard line. This kid is special. 96 catches, 17 for touchdowns a year ago. Evans on the tackle.
They're catching him in the cover 2. The corner has to know he has to drop back and help the safety out. He doesn't do that. He jumps on the short route, and in doing so, it allows that corner route to be an easy catch.
And now they'll run it, and a fumble. Coughing it up is Dawkins, and the Aggies say they have it. And they do. At the 13, recovered by Jordan Nielsen.
They went fast pace. Dawkins gets up there with the ball. And that's just a great job by Jontrell Rockamore ripping at that ball as Dawkins is going away from him, getting it out, taking that momentum away from them as they're moving down the field, trying to get some points on the board. We talked about it before. These defenses were going to dictate what was going to happen in this game, and right now what we're seeing is Utah State is doing a great job. The turnovers here in the second half, that bend don't break. They've given up some plays, but when they needed to knuckle down, that's exactly what they've done so far.
So Nielsen, the grandfather, the cornerstone of that defensive line with a fumble recovery. 45 straight games played, and meanwhile on the other sideline, frustration for Mike Bobo.
Especially on that drive. You're moving down the field, trying to put points on the board. One score, you're back in the game.
Myers looking to throw. He has some space to run as well. Now he fires it, and the catch is made by Sharp, close to the first down marker at the 23-yard line. Matthews on the tackle again.
Nice. Get your quarterback out in space. Let him use his athleticism. Good throw just to put that ball in a spot where only his guy can get it. That's what you want to see out of your quarterback. Crisp decisions, get the ball out quickly, Don't waste too much time.
He's completed 8 out of 12 passes now. That pass play goes for 9 yards, 2nd down and 1.
There's a blitz. Pressure coming.
They're going to run it straight ahead. It's Mays, and Mays has a first down up to the 29-yard line. They have done just enough with Mays to keep him honest.
Yeah, and they brought 8 men down in the box, and that's usually a situation where you're not so effective running. But right now, Utah State, the big Mo is going their way. Their offensive line is starting to try to initiate its will on the Colorado State front, and they're just nickel and diming them. They're just getting a couple yards here and there, hoping they can break a big one. 2
seniors, 3 juniors on that offensive front. Myers throws it, and Rodriguez is hit right away. That was DeAndre Elliott that was right on the receiver. He did hang on. 2nd down and short coming up.
That's a great play. That's a situation where we talk about defenseless hits. He hits him low. Because he hit him low, that is considered okay. And that's just a great tackle by the defender, especially knowing you have a bigger receiver coming in at you.
That was an excellent form tackle. Looks like a Jay Taylor tackle back in the day. 2nd and 5 now at the 34-yard line. They'll run it straight ahead. Mays breaks it. Midfield. Tripped up, and down he goes to 35, or he is gone. Somebody got a shoelace. A big gain, though, up the middle for Utah State.
We talked about it. Drip, drip, drip. You got to keep hitting it. You got to stick with it. You have to commit to it. Eventually, you're going to break one, and right there, you're going to see great blocking, kick out, nice seam. And the big play right there by Austin Albrecht. He comes over, he kicks that out. Watch Austin Albrecht come here. As he hits, there's the hole. He opens it up, and then Mays does the rest. He'd still be running if he didn't trip, but that's what the running game's about. You don't always get it at one time. Sometimes you just got to keep sticking with it until it breaks open.
30-yard pickup here. Lewis on the tackle. Myers going deep now, downfield into the end zone, and incomplete. He wanted Hunter Sharp. Boy, Sharp can really stretch a defense. They have called his number several times here.
The senior is healthy. The bye week has helped him out. He had the big run. Now you do the play action to set it up. Look at this throw by Mayers, though. He puts it almost right there. That's just one more step, and he catches that ball. Maybe drags the foot in for a touchdown.
We have a flag on. No, we do not have a flag on the field. Inadvertent. We do. It's a hold, and they move the football back to the 46-yard line. Never saw a flag, and they just backed him up, and we didn't hear any call on it. We understand it's a hold on Utah State. So 1st down and 20 now. Rams showing blitz. Mays off the left side, and a couple yards down to the 44-yard line. Lovingood was in there on the tackle.
Right now, this is a make-or-break drive going into the 4th quarter. You look at Colorado State. After that turnover, they get that score. You're back in the game. One touchdown, you're back in the game. You're only down by 6 points at that point. So this is something that's huge because you want to make sure going to the 4th quarter, you got momentum going your way. You want to try to get a stop, get your offense back on the field, see what they can do.
2nd and long, just inside the 45-yard line. Play action for Myers, and he throws high and incomplete, intended for Sharp, and that was a bullet.
That was a bullet. That's a tough throw. That's to the wide side of the field. So even though he did bootleg action, was coming that way, that's a very long throw. Now he had Sharp wide open. Sharp could have been running for days maybe on that play. But that's a throw I guarantee you Kent Myers would like to have back.
See if they look for Sharp again. He's lined up bottom of the screen. Trips right formation here. 3rd and 18. Myers tipped and incomplete. That wouldn't have picked up the 1st down as intended for Andrew Rodriguez, and we have another flag on the field.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Defense number 4. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
Oh, another costly penalty against Mike Bobo's bunch. Steve O'Michael. Hands to the face, the senior right defensive end.
This is what makes it tough. When you're a team on the road, dealing with adversity, you're down. They were a few penalties in the first half that affected what they were doing. These penalties in the second half are really keeping drives going. They had a penalty last time that allowed 3 points on the board. Same type of things happening right now.
85 yards and penalties now against the Rams. First down inside the 30. Straight ahead, it's Mays. He stumbles and gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It's been a heavy dose of Devontae Mays, and even though he's not getting big yardage, as Pierre Lewis is on the tackle there, he can kind of wear you down a little bit.
Well, when you're 5'11", 220 pounds, you are definitely a heavy load. You're like that hammer, and you're looking at the defender. You want to keep nailing him in the ground. Eventually, he will not resist, and you're going to get a score.